Hi.
What brings you in today?
Well, my anxiety is getting out of control. It was bad before, but then with driving, but then I got in a car accident and now it's just worse. I don't even want to get in my car. I don't want to drive, but to be a functioning adult, it requires me to get places. I don't know what to do.
I can see how difficult that can be.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel right now when you're talking about that?
Oh, I'm getting antsy thinking about it because I know when I get out of here it's going to be rush hour and people are horrible drivers here and even if I'm driving the best I can drive, it doesn't mean I'm not going to get hit. You know what I mean? And there's so many distractions, it's hard for me to even be the best driver I can be all the time. It makes me very anxious and finicky and handy, if that makes any sense.
Wow, that sounds difficult.
Yeah, it's definitely very nerve wracking.
So, what are your thoughts like when you're about to drive, when you know that you have to go somewhere?
I try and come up with an excuse as to do I really need to go to this place? Can I get out of it? Because that would mean I didn't have to drive. Or I don't know, just is there a back road I can take so I don't have to be on main roads? Because I just I'm scared. I get I picture a car coming out of nowhere when I'm driving, or a kid walking into a street, or someone stopping short, or I just picture all these things and I get sweaty, my armpits, I get nervous and I don't know what to do. It's
That's
a lot.
very difficult. So, after your accident, you are driving.
Yeah, I couldn't the first 2 days afterwards, just because my back and hip were so messed up. It hurt to sit normal. So I took those as rest and relax days. But Monday comes and I have to drive again. And when I first got in my car, I just sat there. And I noticed the first few places I went, I was driving I was 90 years old. It was probably more unsafe because I was just double checking everything, triple checking and going under the speed limit and stopping too soon and just panicky almost in jerky movements, and it's not good. It just I
So,
don't know.
that one time after the accident and you stood there and you froze, what were you feeling?
Um, almost blank inside, nothing, because I was just panicked in the moment where I was nervous and also scared of what was gonna come, what could come. That's really what could happen. There are so many things that could, and all those just flush into my mind at one time.
And how did you react when?
I kind of shut down. I've been in other accidents before, and there have been times where I've had to pull over after those accidents. The first one I was ever in, I was a teenager and I got T-boned on my side because someone ran a stop sign and hit me on my door. And so for the next month after I was driving, I would randomly going through intersections, I would tense up, and then it would be hard to breathe and I'd have to pull over sometimes, and I felt I was having an anxiety attack when nothing even happened. And I almost get scared of being scared now. It's almost pre-anxiety anxiety, if that makes any sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I just don't know what to do, and I don't know. I have to drive, right?
You do.
I'll just take Uber everywhere.
That would be difficult and very expensive.
I know.
So when you get in the car,
Mm-hmm.
what is your anxiety level?
When I first get in the car, it's not bad. Driving out of my neighborhood, I'm fine. That's easy. It's turning onto big roads. It's turning onto real roads, and I get I notice I grip the wheel really hard, and I almost I'm not paying attention because I'm so panicked about where I'm looking, and it's just panic. It's just is the car coming? How far away is it? Do I have time to turn? Even though I know I have tons of time, I'm second guessing everything. And then if I wait too long and someone behind me beeps, which people down here beep a lot, then it's just now I'm panicked about that, and
That's very hard notice.
yeah, it's a
And
lot.
so have you tried taking alternative roads?
When I can, I take back roads. But like even, highways when I can't avoid it, sometimes you can't avoid it. And those days, like, it's very hard. Like, my chest seizes up sometimes, And then I find that when I get to somewhere, I sometimes don't even realize how panicky I was until I try to take my hands off the wheel and my hands are, like, aching from how hard I'm gripping it. And, like, I'm just exhausted because I've just been so stressed for so long, just a straight, 20-minute drive or however long the drive was. It's just pure stress that whole time. And so I'm like exhausted afterwards.
So you definitely avoid driving
Oh yeah,
if you don't have to.
if I can, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And so when do you feel like the anxiety subsides?
When I get out of the car, when I'm able to pull into a parking spot and put the car in park, immediately I'm like just that putting it in park is great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so do you have any support? Do you have other people that drive you around, or?
I mean, I don't like asking them. I feel like it's a burden to always be asking people. So I try not to. I mean, if it's something where like there's a bunch of people going and somebody else offers to drive, I relish that. But otherwise, no. I feel like I'm an adult. I need to do this. I just need to face it.
Absolutely. And the majority of your life is driving,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. And how often do you drive?
Pretty much all day, every day. Or it's required for my job.
So when you know that you're about to drive, what do you do, like, to try to get yourself into that car?
I try to tell myself that like just chill, just do what you know you can help. Just you work on yourself being a good driver. Yeah, I try not to let myself get too negative. Also, like, yes, things have happened before, but this is gonna be okay. Like I try to not let myself think about past things, which is hard.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can try maybe some coping strategies. Have you tried any coping strategies before you get into the car?
No, I know for sure that like listening to music doesn't help me. Doesn't help. It makes it worse. Depending on the kind of music usually, but like anything that's like fast tempo makes my heart race more. So I know that like listening to talk radio or an audiobook or something like that or a podcast helps, but I haven't tried anything else. Like I haven't even thought about trying something before I go. Yeah.
And have you ever tried to talk to someone that has been through a couple car accidents and see how they dealt with it?
Mm-hmm.
So
No, that wouldn't be a bad idea though. Maybe if I'm not feeling like I'm the only person, and if they're able to do it, I can probably do it. But
because we're in South Florida, and majority to get to point A to point B, we have to drive, and I understand that it's very difficult.
Yeah.
And then also I understand that there's a lot of crazy drivers out there.
Mm-hmm.
So your thinking is not irrational about being fearful. But the thing is, you have to drive.
Yeah,
so we have to try to lower your anxiety somehow.
Yeah.
And there's breathing techniques that you can try. But I want to see, so when is your anxiety the highest?
When there's a lot of cars on the road. When definitely coming into season, there being just all the snowbirds and, 1,080,000 on the road. But so season, but definitely rush hour and anytime I have to be on the highway at all. Actually, I lied. That's a lie. I don't mind being on the highway at like midnight when there's just nobody else and it's just one big open road. That's phenomenal. Let's drive like that all the time. That doesn't bother me at all.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
If you have open road, you can see what's happening clear. So have you tried to manage times that you get on the road?
No, actually I haven't really. I just know the bad times, but like I haven't thought like, oh, let's plan a day around. That's not a bad idea.
Maybe there's a day that you can leave earlier.
And just be there earlier and not have to. That's a really good idea to avoid it. Yeah, I mean I can't always avoid it, but I didn't think about that. That might be a good.
Or GPS would kind of detect heavy traffic and
I've tried it. There's someone told me about another type, but like the normal maps, it just makes me more anxious because it shows me what's coming, and I'm like, oh great.
So it makes you more anxious.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
how do you feel?
I'm also really bad at directions though, so I use it a lot.
So when you pull up your GPS, it tells you that there's high traffic, and how do you feel?
Well, I feel like I'm not a good driver. I feel like because I've been in accidents, whether they're my fault or not, I must not be a good driver. So I'm not going to do something right when there's all those people around and there's going to be another accident.
Okay.
Yeah.
But these accidents that you're having, they're not technically your fault.
This past one was.
This past one was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you feel about that?
Well, torn because it's technically my fault because I hit another car, but I was hydroplaning, so there's nothing I could do.
Technically, it wasn't your fault.
Technically, it was according to the state.
What did the state say?
Well, that's how it worked. I got ticketed. It's like in the
Because you
eyes of
hit the car.
correct. I caused the accident because I hit that car that was stopped.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they kind of have you thinking that there's something that you could have done to avoid the crash.
I guess. I mean, I maybe there was. I don't know.
But you were hydroplaning.
Yeah. Like my foot was on the brake and it was just I was just sliding. Yeah. It was pouring. Like it was like when it happened, I couldn't even get out to check on the other people because it was pouring so bad. Like
it was difficult to see, and
Yeah.
you were hydroplaning.
yeah.
So although you did hit the car, you know,
Maybe it wasn't
it
me.
wasn't you know, and I
Yes.
you know, those immediate thoughts that you're having,
Mm-hmm.
that maybe I'm not a good driver,
Yeah.
maybe altering, you know, how you drive, and
Maybe.
just giving you anxiety.
Yeah.
'Cause to me, it doesn't sound like it's something that you could avoid. It was very heavy rain.
That's what I keep thinking. It's
traffic.
like at first I was like maybe I don't think I could have, and then I was like the more I think about it, the more I'm like maybe I could have. I don't know what, but maybe there's if somebody else they would have done something differently, or I don't know. And it just seems to get more and more in my head. So
So how do you feel right now thinking about the crash?
I don't feel great thinking about the crash. I do feel a little relief because I'm kind of realizing now that I say it out loud that it being my fault because I could have done something differently, maybe that's not right. Maybe that, okay, you're right, maybe there isn't a whole lot I could have done in that situation, which is how I felt at first, but the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, it must be me.
And because you were ticketed.
Yeah, and when I say it out loud, like I'm like, oh, and when you said, you know, there's what could you have done, I guess I couldn't. So yeah, I guess not.
So maybe just adjusting your thinking a little bit will kind of lower the anxiety a little bit.
Possibly, yeah. If I know I'm doing everything I can, I mean, that'll definitely help in the confidence level, and maybe that'll help relieve some stress. I don't know.
What about you avoiding it? You said that you avoided a lot. How do you feel when you avoid it?
Ashamed? It's split. Like, I know I should be doing it. I know I'm avoiding. I know I should do it anyways. Like, you just get over it, do it. But at the same time, almost relief because I'm not actually doing it. You know, I do feel a little bit of satisfaction when I'm like, not driving.
Okay, but you
Yeah.
do still feel shameful.
But I do ultimately feel guilty about it, yeah. Like,
So you have
I need to-
anxiety when you're driving, and you're feeling shameful when you're not driving. So
Sure.
you avoiding is not helping.
sure. I hate the term man up, but I do need to adult up. Like, I need to just face this. This is something adults have to do, and I need to do it.
Yeah, but your feelings are valid.
Yeah.
It's scary out there.
Yeah.
I understand you've been in several accidents, so I understand why you're feeling what you're feeling.
Yeah.
We just gotta find a way to kind of manage that anxiety so you can get back on the road again.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I definitely, it might take me a little minute to get over driving in the rain, but that might be like a breathing technique day.
Yeah, that could be.
You know?
You checking the GPS, checking high traffic, checking the weather, trying to leave early to avoid rush hour. You know, things like that to kind of
Right.
just lessen the anxiety a little bit.
Yeah.
And just to kind of think positive thoughts, because right now you're thinking so negative. I'm not a good driver, you know, everything was my fault, you know, I just can't be on the road with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes there's things that you really can't avoid, and we kind of have to know that and just, you know, pick ourselves up and move on. I know it's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will do that. Thank you.
No problem.